Now, on to Ram, guys, I want to ask you in the comments down below, is he good enough? Is he not good enough? Because, again, I'll reference Nunes. When we buy Nunes, or when we bought Nunes, the reason why I was sceptical before we bought Nunes is because I was expecting an £85 million striker, regardless of the age. Cream will always rise to the top. If you let go of Mane and you bring in Nunes, I want him to have the same, if not more, by a comfortable distance, output than Mane did. And I want him to add to the team the way that Mane did. He can be stylistically different, but he needs to improve us the same. Is Nunes the player that gets us from second to first? Now, I raised the question because people then made these excuses for Nunes. Well, he's young, he can develop. Okay, then that means we've neglected the right here, right now. So this season, we don't want to neglect the right here, right now, because we saw last season what that does when you neglect the right here, right now. And when did we improve? When we got a Gakpo, someone who was more stylistically adherent to our team, but we got him in January. The same way we needed Luis Diaz the season before, but we got him in January. The same way we needed a centre-back the season before. But what happens? We went and got one in January. Oh, and it just so happened to be Ozan Kabak. So I think that shows the standards at the moment. And Khéphren Thuram, in my opinion, as much as he could be world-class, Darren, shout out to Darren, he said it earlier, he could be world-class. He is not world-class right here, right now. And is Thuram the guy to get you from fifth to first? I don't think he is, and I'd like to assume me and many other Liverpool fans would love the idea of getting back and inserting ourselves into a title race conversation this season. Or has the standards dropped? Do we just need to compete for top four again and do these things? Has it just dropped over the space of 13 months? To be fair, the plan was to ease Nunes in, give him time to adapt in the league, and this wasn't possible because Jota and Diaz missed pretty much the first half of the season. As right as you may be, we still ended up in a position where we were massively lacking, which is why we had to go and buy Gakpo. And if we bought Gakpo, it means we were kind of looking for an attacker anyway. We should have bought him sooner. Because what we did when we bought Nunes, as you mentioned, we needed to give him time, or wanted to give him time, as you say, MK. Well, if we wanted to give him time, that means we neglected the right here, right now. We can't do that again. And if we do that with Khéphren Thuram, who's supposed to elevate this midfield, probably and most definitely going to be one of our more significant signings of the summer, I raised the question, does he get us back in the title race? And I'm not sure if he does. McAllister, I think, is more on that level. Thuram, I'm not too sure about. I think you need to get a higher quality player if you want someone right here, right now. I question if Thuram is the right here, right now type player. Thuram is one for the future, but not first team material at the moment, says Kenyenke. Liam, shout out to Liam. Jürgen knows who he wants to sign. One thing I say about the Thuram is he'll step up his levels playing around world-class players as well, McAllister, mate. Chat, do you agree with Money 19 or Manny 19 that if we got Barella as well as Thuram and McAllister, because I'm not going to lie, if that happens, that's a different story. Because now you've accommodated two pretty well-established midfielders in Barella and McAllister. And then you've got Thuram, who's one for the future and possibly even one for right here, right now. I'm not going to lie, I would love that. But now let me go back to what I was saying at the start of the stream, that we're never in a million years ever going to be signing Barella. It's just not going to happen. As much as I'd love it to. You know what I mean? In the name of sweet Nancy Francis, it'd be glorious to go and sign that. Literally one of the top most established names in world football currently. Also in his prime, which would be even more beautiful and add a little bit more like spice to the signing. But it's just, it's not going to happen because we don't look in that field. We look in a completely different field of cows. No disrespect. It's all to all content creators. We need to all chill with the panicking. Our glory has never come from marquee signings. Our glory's never come from the marquee signings. Okay. As much as I appreciate what you're trying to say, we haven't ever been winning. And when your team isn't winning and you were told when you were growing up, okay, by the way, we're one of the most, if not the best and most successful team England's ever seen. And then you see your team win an FA Cup and Champions League and then nothing else for the best part of 10, 15 years. You spend that time finding solutions to how to improve. So as much as you call it panicking and our glory has never come from marquee signings, well, we haven't had much glory. So maybe should we start looking at marquee signings? Because we've won one of everything in the space of 7 years, right? One of everything. Really only two super major trophies in the Champions League and Premier League. I'm not trying to discredit the rest, but the ones that you'll remember and tell your kids about, you don't tell your kids about beating Chelsea in the FA Cup final on penalties. You just don't tell them that. But what you do is you tell them about the Premier League and how we dominated the Champions League and how it was boss, and we had Barcelona semi-finals and Origi scored, and amazing. Oh yeah, Origi, yeah, he was a super legend, greatest striker of all time. That's what you tell your kids, isn't it? About the main big trophies. But if we have not had much glory, Jason, then should we maybe start exploring the idea of a few more marquee signings? And then I'll also raise the question, why have we been linked with Mbappe? Why have we been linked with Jude? Why have we been linked with Tuchemani? More marquee names, and then not executed and got them? Is it because we want the fans, or they want the fans to believe that we're going in for marquee signings because they know and we know that that'd be the best for the football club? Otherwise, why would they be making these false links? There's no smoke without fire with some of these links, and I'm not saying that that means the links are always legit, but that means something has came out the football club to suggest that we could be looking at a certain player. And it could even be telling the media to do such thing. The summer is a great opportunity for the owners of any football club to control the narrative and then get you on board over the course of the summer. It's about reeling you in until that one signing comes and you get your dopamine fix from seeing the colours and the new signing pictures. It's massively important to recognise what these clubs are doing. So I appreciate what you're saying there, Jason, but I'd need to I'd need probably a bit more of an expansion on probably what you're trying to say. James, who would you rather take, Kyle Walker or Frimpong? Right here, right now, Kyle Walker, but Frimpong for the future would be fantastic. I'm not going to lie. So I'd take Frimpong. I can see a bigger value and a bigger asset there. Man City have a brick wall defence and they're still going in for Guardiola. It's a great point from Shiranath. Well done, sir. Great point. Why haven't Liverpool been linked to him? And then there's something. So here's the thing. Again, the reason why we aren't linked with Guardiola is the same reason why we're not linked, and we will never be linked with Barella, legitimately, is because we don't look in that field. So Guardiola is now one of the best young centre-backs in the world. We'll turn that down because we don't look in that field. Barella, one of the best midfielders in the world, we'll turn that down because we don't look in that midfield. The club have said this. We only sign certain types of players. And how you know the club has said this, because Jurgen said this. And it's not Jurgen saying, nah, I'm going to turn down the best players in world football because I would rather sign young players. It's like me getting 100. It's like your birthday's tomorrow. Your mum offers you 100 quid. Nah, mum, I'll take 20. Why are you taking 20? You might as well take the 100. Why would you go out and spend on Thuram? If you can go and get Barella, why would you go and spend 20 million on Thuram? Nah, I don't want Barella. I want this kid for the future. So you can't get both. And then that's where the issues start to bubble up, like sort of roll into a snowball. Red Chili, shout out, before you access the chat, please hit the like and just do it now. Big up to Red Chili, man. Always sending in super chats and always reinforcing the urgency to smash the likes. It's beautiful to see, guys. Please do be smashing those as well. Gets the video more out there. Nico Barella is also being explored by Liverpool as a midfield option. Liverpool know the player is happy at Inter, but can change. We'll see in the few days and weeks. If Liverpool prove me wrong and go and get Barella, I'll be, you know, as much as I'd still be, you know, I'd still have my doubts about FSG and I'd still have grudges that I've held with them for quite a while, I'll be honest. If we went out and got Barella, let's say we get Thuram and Barella, bear in mind we've already got McAllister and then we got a centre-back, that would be the best window, and I'm not joking, would be by far the best window that we've had since the Champions League, and you would have to give them credit for that, because they've went and spent more than what we were expecting. But again, the reason why you'd have to give them credit is based off the low expectations that they have set themselves. So it always goes back into sort of their direction. But yes, I will give them a mini congratulations and say, well done for improving the football club, the same way that you should be doing.